The guys on the team to show a lot of character and resolve, and which they did. I challenged them before the game. We talked about the last two teams to win here were 78 and 08. I said, I want to know how you're going to be remembered. I really got to talk to some seniors this week, talk to some offensive linemen, told them what I wanted done, and they did it. And on the fourth down, there's no doubt in my mind I was going for it. I had asked them, I told them we were going the whole way. We were going for the win the whole way. Normally, I would have probably kicked it, but I felt that that would have been the wrong decision because I told them before the game, I'm asking those guys to go to the wall, I'm going to the wall.
Your first win, coach.
You know, this isn't about me. It's about these players, the team. I don't think any team in the history maybe of college football has been through so much in such a time period. And to be able to hang in there and fight their way through it, they've done everything we've asked them to do. They've been great in the field. They've been great going to class. And some times when, I'm sure they wanted some answers, I couldn't be prouder of them. I told them that before the game. I was proud to be their coach. The coaches on our staff were proud to coach them.
Hey, Tom, talk about how you felt walking off the field after the game and everything was going through your head.
I was just happy for everybody on the team, the players. They had done everything, like I said, not to be repetitive, but it's important that you understand what they've been through. And I was just excited for them, happy for them, and excited that next week we'll get to go play a great Wisconsin team for the championship on the line.
Tom, can you talk about the athletic ability of Drake and Belton and what you've seen from them in practice?
What started with that, the reason we got into that Wildcat, I had seen Belton run that. We had practiced that. He was our Nebraska scout team quarterback. So I'd asked the offense to put it in because I had just seen him for 10 days torch us. And Billy ran that in high school, the same offense, and he had good, actually got a lot of work against us. So it wasn't as if we put it in 2 days. He had been practicing it against our own defense. And Curtis, Curtis gives you another option because Curtis had run the same stuff too in high school. And we had tinkered with that before, and I had asked Galen and Jay, and they thought about it a while ago, but they never just got to the package. And we thought today coming in would just give us a little change of pace, which it did.
Tommy, unleashing a lot of emotion, you, the players, what's it like in the locker room?
They're excited in there. I think they're excited because they accomplished something. They did it the right way. They fought through so much adversity, and then they did it the right way. They did it with first class, though. Everything they did, and they did everything I've asked them to do, they've done, whether it be and from the little things, from shaving, from pulling your tie up, take your earphones off. Every little thing I've asked them to do, and I told them why, they've done it. And I attribute that to the great leadership of our senior class and to our captains.
Tom, on the Wildcat, you yourself said that you haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to maybe some of the offensive. Was it a difficult decision?
No, I paid attention to it. But I just say that to you guys.
Was it a difficult decision for you to commit to that?
No, not at all. Not at all. It was a chance for us to get an extra blocker, to do something they hadn't seen, obviously hadn't practiced. And it was a nice wrinkle that we needed. It was in the script. It was in early. It was in often. Not at all. We were going with it.
Did Red not being 100% have anything to do with how much you were
Nope, not at all. We were going to do it no matter what. And, Silas, he didn't get hit all this week, and his shoulder is still bothering him. But the other backs run tough. Stefan had, I thought, a big league game. Beecham runs hard. They ran tough, hard. I thought the offensive line picked up some stunts. That one we split, fabulous job.
Tom, do you worry that you showed too much this week with the Wildcat, given the ramifications of next week's game? Or there more?
Hey, I'm a defensive coach. I've seen all the tricks, so they're going to have to figure what I got. I've watched all those different things people have done against me over the last 12 years. Don't think I forgot them.
Tom, yesterday Coach Boeheim had a kind of a serious cut at Coach Paterno when they asked him about Coach Fine, the allegations against Coach Fine. Do you have any comment on that?
No, I have no comment. I just heard a little briefly about it. This isn't about that. This is about this football team. This is about these players. Let's talk about them.
Tom, did you expect to see as much Wildcat from them as you did today?
We anticipated a lot of that. I think once we settled down and talked at halftime, Coach Johnson and Coach Vandlin and Coach Bugs did a great job with the halftime adjustments and trying to settle some things down. They caught us a couple times moving and stunning. We had created our own holes by, when you do stunt against that, a lot of times you have to be careful that you don't create your own, rather than blocking you. You make your own, you make it easier for him sometimes. He's an exceptional athlete.
Tom, can you talk about the reception you got from the Ohio State crowd and what it meant to you guys?
That's you gotta take your hat off to him. And I did walking off the field after warm-ups when they stood up and cheered us. That's first class group. It's a first class university here.
How about Farrah?
Jack Crawford, and has he been a little bit inconsistent?
Jack hurt his knee. That's why it's been a little bit tough for Jack. And I think he's finally getting healthy again. He dinged it a few games ago, and we've really been careful with him how much he practices.
Tom, how about Farrah's performance?
Boy, I can just say wow. I spent some time with Anthony this week. I went back over and coached the kickers, and just being around them. I guess I teased him. I told him, I said, you better get a lot of friends on the team because if you miss one, you're going to need a vote to see if you get back on the plane. And he had a heck of a game, kicked the ball off well, punted, had some great punts. I thought he was a big-time weapon today. You'd have to give him credit. I just kind of looked at him on the one we went before half, and he gave me the nod, so I knew he was ready. And then, Kaiser doesn't get a lot of credit. He put some great holds down, which is always so important to a kicker.
Tom, can you talk about the defense on Miller, what you had to do to contain?
He's a tough guy to contain. He's different. One of the things that's helped us is we have seen the last few weeks running quarterbacks, so we really had an advantage there that it wasn't the first time we were preparing for a running quarterback. He's very shifty and quick. He's everybody we've played so far are different style of runners, and he certainly is very elusive.
How did you feel the team was emotionally just before the game after the news last night about Coach Paterno? How did you get
Last night, when we got off the plane, we were on the plane, and Jay gave me the news, and I knew I had to talk to the team. And nowadays, as you know, they all have their cell phones. When they got off the plane, obviously their cell phones were all, they were beeping with messages. And I got them together and told them exactly what we had heard from Dr. Sebastianelli, so we were all on the same page. There are a lot of rumors as they swirl that, what was going on with Coach Paterno. I felt it was best that I just address it. And I felt pretty good because one of the kids said, well, I already knew that. But the other kid said, yeah, but it was nice that you addressed this and got us all on the same page. So there's anything to hide. I wanted to make sure that we all knew where Coach Paterno was. And I know it was, when they left the room, it was dead silence. But we were on the same page about Coach.
You go to Wisconsin this week with a chance to, like you said, could you imagine that a couple of weeks ago, just like 2 weeks ago, and all this stuff broke loose, and as the team stayed focused?
I don't know what I could imagine. I think anybody that knows what these past 10 days could never have even imagine any of it. And, I thought we would come in and play well. I thought last week what hurt us was not all the things that went around, obviously, but we hadn't played in 2 weeks. We had lost our stinger a little bit, and we were a little bit, as you noticed, the first half, we weren't as on target as we usually are.
Tom, how do you think Jay has held up, especially with the news of yesterday?
He's done tremendous. I check with him all the time. I said, Jay, if you got to leave the meeting, go. If you have to do something with your family, go. I've talked to him. I talk to him repetitively about how he's doing. I want to make sure he's okay. And anybody that knows me knows I know how important family is.
Matt Boyne had a pretty good game here last year. How did you think that he performed today?
I thought he performed pretty well today. I thought the one pass wasn't a good decision he made. We didn't even discuss the negative of being here last year. I thought he had a heck of a good game.
Ohio State struggled to throw the ball a lot this season. What did you expect from them getting DeVere Posey back, and how did you have to compensate for that at all?
We talked about Posey. We weren't sure what factor he would play in the game, being it was his first game back, but we know he's a heck of a receiver. I mean, those guys they have, Brewster, Steinbruner, Adams, Allheron, all those guys, we know them from high school and very familiar with their talent. They have great talent. Luke Fickle does a heck of a job with that football team.
Anything else for Tom? Okay.
Thank you very much.